Let's analyze some of the problems with the existing application structure. The biggest one is that dependencies tend to flow toward infrastructure concerns such as the database and XML files going through data access layers that are tightly coupled to these structures. The core business layer and domain classes, such as we have them in this example, all depend on these implementation details. And if these implementation details change, it requires us to go in and change our business layer, at the very least recompiling it, but in this case actually going and touching lots of individual method calls in order to fix their references so that they continue to function. The result of this is that we have tight coupling between the business layer and, by extension, the data access layer and the XML file and the infrastructure components that we are using in our application. There's no way to change these implementation details without a recompile, resulting in an open-closed principle violation, and making this very difficult to test in any kind of an isolated fashion. Dependency injection shows that dependency is transitive. If the UI depends on the business logic layer, which in turn depends on the data access layer, which in turn depends on the database, then everything depends on the database. We want to instead depend on abstractions where we know that there are likely to be changes in our application. We want to package up these abstractions, these interfaces, with the client that's using them, in this case the business logic layer, in keeping with the interface segregation principle. Finally, we want to structure our solutions and projects so that the core or business logic layer is at the center or at the bottom of our dependency hierarchy, with the fewest dependencies and with no dependencies on external infrastructure.